Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks for holding the hearing, and thank you for testimony. And I apologize, I have to run very quickly, but I wanted to just ask one question with regard to the second panel that will be coming up. We'll be hearing from the ordeal of an Arizona corporation, Ping, trying to register a top-level domain. They tried to register the Ping domain name and wound up paying over $1 million to do that at auction. I think it's troubling that Ping was essentially forced to pay for its own intellectual property. How will the ICANN transition address concerns of American trademark holders like Ping, and will the process of resolving these kind of claims change following the transition?
Let me start in terms of the impact by the transition itself. What you're describing is the process established by the community as to how it would expand the list of top-level domains that are available. And as a result of this, hundreds of new domains have gone into the root file. It has nothing to do with the performance of the IANA functions. So the contract that we have with ICANN, under which they perform updates to the root zone files, does not reach this policy-making activity of ICANN. And so when the contract goes away, it will still be up to the community of businesses and everyone to set the policies. Now, the example you're talking about comes right out of the guidebook that the community developed over years in terms of what to do when multiple parties seek the same domain name, because it's not like the trademark world where people can, like Apple, can use Apple as a trademark in one context and a different company could use Apple in a totally different industry. Unfortunately, on the internet, only one person can have .apple. And so the question the community faced was, how do we deal with the competing claims on these names? And what the community decided, and by the community I mean all of the businesses that are now seeking domain names, along with the technical experts and civil society members that participate in this policy-making process, decided that where you have two people making equal claims for a name, they need to work it out. And at the end of the day, the process that they put in place to resolve at the end is an auction, which can be conducted privately or can be conducted under the auspices of ICANN. The parties decide that, and that's been used. Has it been a great outcome? It's a good question to ask the second panel if they feel that the experience of dealing with these contention sets where people ask for the same domain name has worked out the way they expected it to when they set that policy several years ago. As they look forward to establishing a second round of expansion of domain names, the community may well choose a different way to handle that. But the point to keep in mind is that's part of ICANN policy making. That's part of what the multi-stakeholder community does. It is not in any way within the scope of the IANA functions contract that we have with ICANN.
Thank you, and I'll submit additional questions for the record following. Thanks, Mr. Chairman.